What's up, guys? Tim Rishima, aka Static Boards here, dropping another video for you. Today we're gonna keep moving along in the mapping. We'll go back to doing the grinds, everything like that. Right now, we're gonna go ahead and set up our Unity and get that ready, so that when we go back and do the grinds and everything in Blender, we set up a scene with like a rail or a box. I'll show you how to go from Blender to Unity, do the grinds, and put it into Excel so you can load up your map and test it. So once you have that whole procedure down of how you can go from Blender, modeling, grinds, Unity, Excel, testing, then you'll be able to just start going, to just nonstop start hitting it. So I feel like this part needs to get out as fast as possible, and then I can always go back and add in specific little things that need to be talked about or gone over, and extra stuff like doing skies and scenery and stuff like that. So we'll get moving on this. We'll set up Unity. This won't be too long of a video. What you got to do is go online, go to Google, whatever, type in Unity. Go to unity.com. I forget their site sometimes. Go to up here to the top right. You're going to go to Get Started. You're going to pop up with this. Don't worry about any of this. Click Individual. You're going to go to Personal. With Personal Unity, if you did not know, you can actually make a game and put it and sell it on a market and make less than 100K a year using their free license. So if you use Excel as a stepping stone to really go to YouTube and take my videos and just really learn Unity and Blender and stuff, later on you can really develop your own games and make some money on this and actually have a career or something in this. I mean, I've self-taught myself for like 13, 14 years of doing all this. So, I mean, not Excel, but like just always on a computer. I mean, I do graphic design for a living, so, but always go to the free license personal one. You can go to first time users if you're brand new. If you're not brand new, I wouldn't suggest grabbing this. I'd just go here because I'm going to explain what you need to do for Excel. And this is really just a bunch of free stuff that they're going to give to you and show you how to make a free game. And it's kind of like a Lego game on a little island, stuff like that, which isn't going to really work any of it in Excel. So it's not really, if you're here for Excel, just go here. So, accept the terms, download Unity Hub. Okay, don't worry about anything else, just get download Unity Hub. Once you download Unity Hub, you're going to install it, and you're going to open it. And this is what Unity Hub looks like. You're not going to have any parks, any projects or anything. So what you're going to do is you're going to come down to your installs, and you're going to go to Add. Now when you go to Add, it's going to give you a bunch of versions here. You want the 2019 version. Right now, Excel is compatible with the 2019. I don't believe it works with any of the other ones. A big problem people keep coming to me with is, hey, I put my park in Unity, everything's fine, and then I come and put it in Excel, and I go to Excel, and it's a blank screen, and I'm falling, and I'm a shadow. And the main reason for that is they went and grabbed the newest version they could grab of Unity, not realizing you have to have 2019 for it to work with Excel at the moment until they break that. But so always grab 2019, grab it. It'll download and install here. It might take a little bit to install, but once it installs, it'll be here. Now when you go to projects, when you want to start a park, and I'm warning you now, one park like this, one project, when you do a project just for Unity to build the project, it takes up like a half a gig or something. I don't know. It takes up a lot, like 300 megabytes or something. So that's just to build it. And then every texture you add, every single thing you add will add more to it. If you have a good PC, it's not going to really matter to you because your PC will just power right through like mine. if you have a budget PC or a low-level build, you are going to experience a lot of issues with building when you get to like a big city or building something massive. So my suggestion is make a project and work on that project. The more projects you put here, the more you're going to start bogging your machine down with useless files that aren't getting worked on. So put a project, work it to the fullest extent. Then if you want to start a new one, start a new one. But the more you start of these, the faster you're going to fill your PC up really quick. So just be warned. I had like 10 at one point, and it was taking up like almost half my hard drive. And so just definitely watch your parks here. But you're going to go to projects. You're going to come over here to new. You're not going to push new. Sometimes there's other versions of Unity that you downloaded, you didn't know, you click something. You could accidentally do it in another build, and there's nothing like building a full park to just not be able to use it. So always click this little arrow. Make sure you do 2019. I think the new one is 418. I still have 14. Doesn't really matter as long as it's 2019. Click that. Well, actually, I'm going to do that. And when this pops up, you got these options here. You're going to want to change this to high definition RP. You want to come up to the project name and name it whatever your park is going to be. We'll do this for... Oh, see, I did... Hold on. Got to delete something real quick. Both of those need to be deleted. See, oh, yeah, see, those are... These two projects that I had alone are almost 3 gigs, I bet. Watch, probably more. Oh, about 2.5 gigs for those two projects alone. That's a lot. So, see, that was a lot of space I had wasted on my computer right now. 2 gigs, just chilling. But now we should be able to make this. I had made one earlier, and I had to delete it. But go ahead and create that. Now this is going to take a sec to create. What I would suggest to do now is grab the next tool you're going to need. There's 2 tools. You need to, if you have not grabbed, you need to go to Discord, go to my server. If you have not already grabbed the file from the first video that has all of the map links in it for the map tools, you can go ahead and scroll down to the bottom of my tutorial and go to the map download links button, and you're going to grab Bill's tool package right here. You should already have this Blender add-on installed into your Blender. If you skipped this and did not do this, you need to go back and do this step. It is the first video I posted. I believe it's in the Blender setup video. You need to make sure you do this before you try to do any grinds between Unity and Blender, or they're not going to work. So set this up. Now download this. We need this. The model, whatever, you can grab it if you want it. Also, just letting everybody know, there is a donate to me button right here underneath the map links. When you click it, it will gladly show you that I do not have PayPal or Cash App, and I do not accept or take people's money. I do this for fun. I love doing this. So just wanted to throw that in there so you guys know I'm not one of these other guys. I'm not here trying to make money off of you. I'm not here trying to work for anything. I do this when I have time, and that's it, you know. But let's move on because our Unity's finally done. We got our bills downloaded. So what you're going to do now is you're going to let Unity finish tweaking out. Big thing's going to pop up. Yep. This is the HD render pipeline wizard. You can go ahead and click this word, drag it right over here next to this inspector word, and then click inspector again. All right, this is a Unity scene. First thing I want you to do is scroll around, get used to it. Check it out. Get used to the controls. Don't worry about what you see, but just get used to the controls. Kind of look and see how lighting plays on stuff and how it works in shadows. It almost looks really realistic, you know. That's what you're trying to achieve in Excel. Now, right now, I'm still learning a lot in Unity. There's a lot of stuff that I'm not very proficient in. One of them is post-processing. Another one is getting like an I can't say atmospheric. There we go. Atmospheric kind of like perception when you're skating to give it that realism, like wind blowing and stuff like that. Like I haven't gotten into AIs yet, which I would point you in Nicholas Cam. I can't say your last name. Sorry, bud. But I would point you in his direction on the Facebook group. He knows a lot about the AIs. He's probably the most I've seen messing with them, so I would definitely talk to him. But what we're going to do is click this example assets, and what I always do, delete it. Just hit delete. You could right click it and go to delete, whatever. Same thing with this light probe group. You're not going to use that, delete it. So now you should have main camera, directional light, your sun or sky and fog, and post processing. And the reason I leave this is because I still don't know how to get this on my own yet. So I use the one that Unity originally gives you for the scene, and you can come over here to the right and you can mess with all the settings on it. You know, the white exposure, the chromatic, all that. But I kind of steal this from Unity because I still don't quite... I've watched hundreds of videos and I do not understand post-processing. But this is pretty much the setup. Now, one of the other things we always want to do is click our main camera, and you want to come to this right. And the inspector here is your best friend when it comes to clicking any object, anything. So when you click it, the inspector over here is going to show you all the stats for it, anything you can change. All of this is changeable. All of this does something. Whether you know what it does is one thing. Playing with the bars is fine. You just remember what the number is. So like ISO's 200. Now if I want to play with this and see what it does, go for it. You know, that's the point of creating. Get comfortable with the program before you dive into a park. Because I know the number one thing that bugged me in the beginning was doing something wrong and then freaking out that I didn't know how to fix it and just scrapping my whole park because I messed something up, which now I know how to go back and fix every little thing that's messed up, you know. So it just takes time. You'll get used to all that. But the camera, you're going to click main camera, you're going to come over here to tag, and you're going to change it to editor only. Okay, because in game the cameras are skater, so it's not going to be attached to the skater. I mean, it's not going to be facing our skate park and just that's what we see. It's going to be on the skater, so that doesn't mean anything for us. So we just go ahead and do editor only with that. Now, the only other thing I like to do is you don't have a park or a flat surface yet here, so we'll just for the sake of this video, we'll go ahead and right click over here in the hierarchy. This is called your hierarchy. You're going to go down to 3D object and go down to plane, and we'll just put a plane there just so we have something. You know, we don't have to put floor or anything on it. It's just a plane, no biggie. Now, something important to note if you're new is that a plane, if you put a plane, it has one on it already, but if it did not have this mesh collider, your skater would fall right through it. And what this mesh collider does is it turns that plane into a solid object, if that makes any sense. So that plane right now is just an image of a plane, but then with the mesh collider, it makes it a solid object that is interactable. So like if you run into it, it's solid. So basically if it's your ground and you're standing on it, it's solid. Every single object in your whole map must have either a mesh collider or a box collider, a capsule, circle, edge, something, or always a mesh. If you're not doing a grind, I just do a mesh. The things that get tricky with meshes is if you have an object, like say you have the skater model, but he's super detailed, like beyond belief, down to the buttons and threads and stitches, then you're going to get millions of vertices which is going to really, really render. Like, you better have a 2080 Ti graphic card. Like, you better be pushing it because your computer's going to bog out on you. I mean, like, trying to process and render that kind of stuff isn't going to work. So that's why mesh colliders work for XL, for like ramps, rails, stuff like that, everything pretty much. But if you're going for like some full-blown detail, then you can probably just do like mesh collider at the height of where your skater would hit it, and then the rest of it just leave it empty, you know, to try to optimize your game, or your map, I should say. But so we have this plane here. Click the plane, go to position, always do 0, 0, 0. Always want 0, 0, 0, center, always best. See our sun, doesn't really matter. Alright, the other thing we're going to do is we're going to right click, we're going to go over here in our hierarchy, we're going to go to create empty. Whoa. We're going to right click the empty, we're going to rename it, and we're going to go to spawn point. Spawn, oh wait, you want to go spawn point. It has to have the capital P and it has to have the capital S. Go ahead and hit enter. Now I like to make the spawn point 0, 0, 0. Then I zoom in and I grab the green, which is going to be your Y, and I click it and I drag it up a little bit. If you don't drag it up a little bit, he'll spawn in the floor and fall through. So you want it up a little bit so you have it above. Okay? So that's how you're going to have your spawn point every time. Okay? Don't worry about it this so much right now. We're not going to use this. I'm just showing you how to get Unity set up, ready. Every time you go to do a map, this is what you should do right away. The last thing now, click on spawn point here. You got to do your tags. Let me see if I can make this good. Yeah, I can do this. Okay, so go to my Discord and go to the mapping tutorials, and you'll see in the mapping tutorials I added a Unity tags page. You need to take these tags and you need to add them into Unity, into your project. So what I do is click spawn point, come over here to tag in your inspector for spawn point. When you click that, because it's untagged right now, scroll down and go to add tag. Now you're going to get this three little lists: tags, sorting, layers, layers. So click the layers, go down to 12, and type in with a capital G, grindable. And then go down to 16 and type in coping. Coping doesn't really work. Coping is supposed to be so you can smoothly ride up the quarter pipe, hit the coping, and grind in one smooth transition without having to ollie or bump. Now, it doesn't work. It only works with DreamTech for some reason. So you have to pretty much just use grinds for everything. Grinds work fine on coping. Since you can click your sticks in and bump off a coping, I mean, it works fine and perfect for me. I've never had an issue, but I always put the coping in the layer just because I don't know if it needs to be there or not. If it's connected to grindable, I don't know. So I always just put it there even if it doesn't work, but I use grindable. Now for tags up here, you're going to want to go ahead and click this little plus, and you're going to want to put in each of these tags. Now don't put in the tag 0, tag 1, tag 2. Just put in the word. And it has to be spelled with caps exactly the way it is. So I'll go ahead and do this with you and set this up. We'll put concrete. We can close this little layer. Wood. We got metal. Spawn. Oh, see, I messed it up. So just minus it. It doesn't matter if it's tag 4 and it says tag 3 here. That really does not matter at all. kind of hard to type because I have my mic like right in front of my face, because I have a really crappy mic, so I have to have it right in front of me so I can speak into it, or else you can't hear me. But yeah, so you add all these tags in, which you're going to need all of them. Pretty much. I've tried to just add here and there, and then I always end up having to go back and add in the rest because I need them. So always just take this time, add them. You only have to do this when you start a new park project. So every time you start a new park project, you have to add these. But after we save this, when we make stuff, we're going to be using this project to make stuff, so we're going to have this done already. We won't have to come back and do this later on. It'll already be done for this series. Come on, brick. Alright. And the ones that work really good are the grind, concrete and metal, and then the surfaces and the auto pumps. The auto pumps are really funny because they kind of send... That's the maps where you hit a quarter pipe and all of a sudden it sends you flying through the air like super fast. That's the auto pump tweaking out. Of course. Okay, and then surface grass. Alright, once you get all your tags added in, you should have all your tags there. Click spawn point again and change that tag to spawn point. We can go ahead and delete this plane right now. And that's our scene set up. Now the only other thing we have to do is go to where we downloaded our Bill's tools at and run it. When you run Bill's tools, it's going to load something in Unity. It's going to pull this up. This is the grind splines. This is the script to do all the grinds. You're going to go ahead and you're going to import that. Give it a minute. Okay, so what that did now is that added a modifier in here that's called grind surface and grind spline, and we'll go over those when we do the grinds, but this is going to make your developing grinds a lot easier. So, but I think that's going to wrap it up for this video, because at this point we're all set up in Unity, we're ready to go. So yeah, the next video we'll go over doing the grinds in Blender, moving that object to Unity, and go ahead and splining it, and then testing everything over in Unity. So, the other thing I didn't mention though, when we installed Bill's tools, it gave us this little tab up here called SXL. This is going to be where we export our map. It's a quick window. It's a quick way of doing it. It's so much better than asset bundling it. So I'll definitely go over that too when we do the maps. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you found something useful. It ended up being a little bit longer than I thought, but hopefully we got everything we needed to in there. So till the next one.